Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Schuessler Tissue Salts training with Susan Gianevsky. Susan will be taking you through this in-depth training on Schuessler Tissue Salts. Please make sure that you complete the Schuessler quiz after this. And from that, I will be sending you out a free product of your choice from the Schuessler Tissue Salts range. Enjoy.
Thank you, Chloe. Hello, everyone. It's Susan Gianevsky. Such a pleasure to be sharing what I'm very passionate with on the Schuessler Tissue Salts. I've been loving Schuessler for over 28 years now, and they've never let me down. It's a wonderful modality that everyone needs to learn about. And today's talk is called Reclaim Your Health in 2021 with Schuessler Tissue Salts. And 2021 has already started, but it's never too late to think about your cells and activating your cells. You cannot activate your cells with activated products unless your cells have the nourishment to be able to activate the food and the supplements you are taking. Thank you. So when we talk about integrity, quality, and innovation, this is what Martin and Pleasant stands for. We actually make all our products here in Australia, and to know that the tissue salts are still made the way they were made in the 1800s, by hand in a mortar and pestle. We have a fully functioning lab that follows the direct principles of the way tissue salts are made. Moving forward, the innovation here is that we're the only company in the world that makes tissue salts in a spray form. And we've also got the creams in a natural base. And the quality is second to none because everything that we make is tested here in Australia and made by hand when it comes to the tissue salts. When we look at cellular health, something that we really need to think about is our cells. And did you know that our health depends on the state of 50 to 100 trillion cells? Each of them are working in order to support you. And do you know it takes 1,281 functions for you to wake up in the morning? That's something that you need to know. So be grateful when you wake up in the morning, and then every cell works to combine oxygen with carbohydrate, fat, and protein to release energy for individual cell function, cell renewal. And this is further supported with the tissue salts that actually create that cell renewal and support cell function. So when you think about we're a body of cells, but we don't see our cells, but the way you feel is, and your symptoms shows you whether your cells are happy or not. And remember that a cell assimilates nutrients, converts them into energy, and eliminates waste materials. Our cells become the simplest form of living matter and are the building block of life. But just remember that disease starts in just a single cell. And when you're wanting to eliminate waste and you go on a detox program and you stop eating certain foods and not drinking coffee, remember that your cells need the tissue salts to actually flush the system so it can renew itself again. So why minerals? You know, why am I so passionate about minerals? And tissue salts are micro minerals. They're different to the crude minerals, which I'll speak to you a bit later on. But what is the purpose of minerals in our body? They're the essential elements for healthy tissue structure, bone, skin, and teeth. And this is crucial to know because they help maintain acid balance to keep the body pH neutral. We know that disease does not grow in an acid base, in an alkaline base. The more acidic you are, the more prone you are to an imbalance. So the aim is to maintain an acid alkaline base. Helps regulate body processes such as enzyme systems, crucial function, nerve impulse transmission, and it helps release the efficient energy from food because tissue salts help you with your absorption of nutrients and supplements. So let's talk about who was Dr. Schuessler, someone that was born, he was born in 1821, and he was the first to use the term biochemistry, which refers to the chemical changes by which life processes are carrying on. He was a medical doctor who practiced homeopathy in the late 1800s using basic principles to develop a healing practical healing science. But just remember, tissue salts are not homeopathic, but Dr. Schuessler was very fond of Dr. Hahnemann. He needed to allow these minerals to be easily absorbed, and he started using lactose as a carrier to make when you chew the tissue salts, for them to disperse into the bloodstream. Just as a massage practitioner will never put the essential oil on the body, there'll always be a carrier oil attached. Same with lactose. All lactose in the tissue salts is simply a carrier to make sure that those microdose minerals are passed into the cells. So we've got the word biochemistry, which Dr. Schuessler named, which refers to the processes and reactions such as breathing, metabolism, and digestion, which occur naturally in our bodies. It was also used to indicate the method or treatment which was developed by Dr. Schuessler, which was based on his extensive research work. And Dr. Schuessler regarded the tissue salts as the mineral bases of all the organs and tissues of the body. And remember, next time when you're digesting your food, when you're breathing, when you're actually sitting there still, just know your cells are working for you and be grateful for that. So why do we choose tissue salts, as we spoke last time? Because they regulate mineral levels in the cells. That's their job. They do not build mineral levels. If you're low in a mineral, you still need to take it in the crude form, but you need the tissue salts which regulate the mineral levels in the cells. I call them the GPS of the body, taking one mineral to where it needs to be. So if you're low in magnesium, for example, and you simply just take a crude magnesium, it just stays in one area and it gets built up. But without the mag-phos in the tissue salts, you can't carry that magnesium around. And always remember that tissue salts regulate mineral levels. They treat acute and chronic disorders of every type. So for long-standing disorders and in acute disorders, we increase the dosage of the tissue salts more frequently. And they stimulate cell metabolism. That's what they do. Their job is to stimulate and activate cell metabolism by providing the cells with the minerals and ensure that the minerals which the body ingests in food and supplements are evenly distributed. So we've very much spoken about this. They maintain sufficient cell metabolism, which is crucial for proper function of the cells. They ensure that your food is actively absorbed, because what's the use of eating all the wonderful food and not being able to absorb it? You're only as healthy as your cells. So if your cells are functioning at optimum levels, you're going to get the benefit of all that great food you're eating, and they make more efficient the absorption of crude or supplemented minerals and nutrients. So when you look at what causes deficiency in cells, I get this asked all the time. A poor diet is really the cornerstone of what happens to the damage that starts happening. Injury, when we can't move, breathe actively, or create oxygen in our cells, lack of oxygen, water, electro smog, when we're spending too much time with our phone, with our computer, we go outside, the air isn't clean. Bacterial viruses can cause a blockage in the cell's regulations, which can be corrected by the tissue salts. These influences all cause blockage in the cells regulations, which can be corrected by the cells, thus bringing the healing process into motion. So tissue salts will support you to not crave for the diet that's not supporting you. They'll actually support you when you are walking in pollution by protecting your cells, and they will accelerate more oxygen. That's the purpose of ferrum phos, for example, to create more oxygen at the cellular level. And so you can move more easily. We need magnesium. And so the important thing is to keep your hydration up, and tissue salts work like water flowing in your body. They accelerate the nourishment so you can absorb the moisture and the water that your body has. So without Nat Mur, for instance, we can't actually digest the water that's coming into our cells. And that's why some people who drink a lot of water aren't feeling hydrated, it's because they don't have enough Nat Mur. So when we talk about inorganic versus organic, our bodies are comprised of organic and inorganic matter. And I call this the same as when you're building a house. The mortar that sticks the bricks together is the same as this inorganic versus organic. No one ever just puts brick on brick. Think of the tissue salts as the mortar that holds your internal house up. So your organic matter are your carbohydrates, which are the sugar, the fats, and the proteins. And you need this inorganic matter to make the organic matter work together, which are your minerals and your water. Organic and inorganic matter work together to sustain growth and the development of all body systems. This is the infrastructure of your body. This is what holds you together. And just remember that final point. Vitamins are useless without tissue salts because they're just staying in one place or being flushed out. So what's the difference between minerals and tissue salts? So we call them, tissue salts are homeopathically prepared and they stimulate metabolism. They provide the cells with the minerals and ensure that the minerals which a body ingests in food are evenly distributed. Again, we call them like the GPS of the body. They take the nutrients where they need to be, the tissue salts where they need to be to accelerate the function of those cells, whereas crude minerals simply fill the body's mineral reserves but do not improve absorption as do tissue salts. So highlighting the importance, if you're low in iron, you can still take any iron that best suits you, and even if it's highly absorbable, without the ferrum phos opening up those pathways, it's not going to allow the crude mineral to come into your cells. Remember, tissue salts are intracellular food, whereas crude minerals work outside the cell. So tissue salts work inside the cells to support the cells, whereas the purpose of crude minerals still works outside the cell, and you need to open and unlock that door, and tissue salts become the key that unlocks the door so that crude mineral can come in at the cellular level. So can I simply eat healthy foods for my health? Just remember our soils are quite deficient and a wholesome diet cannot replace treatment with tissue salts. I don't know about you, but I lead a very busy schedule, especially now at the start of the year with all these products needing to be shared and so forth, that sometimes I forget I skip a meal, or I'm not eating on time as my cells need. So a wholesome diet cannot replace treatment with tissue salts. And remember, if you're stressed or not sleeping well, you're actually not able to replace that simply with a great diet. Even when the body has been supplied with adequate nutrients in foods, deficiencies arise in the body's own tissue salts. Deficiencies in the body's own tissue salts may still arise from disease-causing agents. So even when you're eating well, if you're too acidic, you're not going to absorb that nourishment. And that's why I speak about tissue salts being so important every step of the way. And that's why they need to be taken 4 times a day. So let's go through each of the tissue salts in a very general way. And I've got a training course that you can, after you've completed this training, you can ask for, and it's a gift to you, which goes into these 12 tissue salts in greater detail. But just know that Calc Phos is known as for bone health. It's also known as the tissue salt that creates new cells. It's also great for growing pains. I want you to know that the Calc Fleur is called elasticity because Calc Fleur creates this elasticity that the cells need to function. And so, for example, if someone's got varicose veins, hemorrhoids, it means that there's not enough elasticity at the cellular level, and that's why the body is showing these signs. And when we actually have something like varicose veins, it's the body saying, please give me calcium fluoride because I'm not getting enough, and I need this to provide the elasticity for the blood to keep flowing through. Calc Sulph is known as the blood purifier. It's known when we have a slow healing wound or we've got a skin lesion that's not healing. what I love about calcium sulfate, it's called nature's corset. It actually pushes out all the toxicity and it heals the skin to come close. So it's a great one for ulcers that never heal. And always know that this one is known as the nature's corset, because it pushes everything up, but it also seals the skin, so you'd never know that you had a skin lesion. The other one that I love is your first aid, which is Fair Phos, and that is very important whenever you feel a tickle in the throat, whenever you are low in iron, whenever you're coming down with something. Remember, you can do these every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes until you feel better. Otherwise, it's 1 tablet 4 times a day. Kali Mur is your glandular tonic. Whenever you feel that there's too much mucus, whenever you're not comfortable in that nasal passage, always think of the glandular tonic. Kali Phos is a constituent of your brain cells, and it really has a way of sewing up your nervous system. So if you're feeling anxious, think that you don't have enough Kali Phos, and that's the best way to supplement. Kali Sulph is your skin salt whenever there's an imbalance, and these are all found in your combinations as well. But these are the 12 that your body needs. Mag Phos is a nerve and muscle relaxant. Simply taking magnesium for an eye twitch or a headache is not enough unless you add magnesium phosphate, which picks up the magnesium from your food and supplement and takes it where it needs to be. If you keep taking magnesium, hoping your twitch is going away, you're going to get diarrhea. So remember adding Mag Phos 1 tablet 4 times a day, or 1 tablet every half hour for up to 6 doses until you feel better, and then go back to the 1 4 times a day. Nat Mur, as I spoke about, is called Fluid Balance. It's a wonderful remedy tissue salt for people who crave a lot of salt. It means you don't have enough Nat Mur. It's also balancing fluids. It's for people who are drinking a lot of water and need hydration. Great for your kidneys. Nat Phos is your acid neutralizer whenever you're feeling bloated and you need to be more alkaline. Gut remedy as well. Great for any sort of reflux. Nat Sulph is one that I tell everyone about, especially for people who want to lower their cholesterol, go to the toilet more regularly, because it helps you create healthy bile. Great for the pancreas, great for the gallbladder, great for the liver. It's what the body needs when you need to actually burn fat, break down your fats in the body, but also regulate your bowel. Silica, think of silica as the cleanser and conditioner, but it's the broom that sweeps the toxins out of your body. Picture a broom, and whenever you've got pimples or whenever you've got blackheads that need to come to a head, if you've got wet palms or wet feet, and also remember that silica makes your calcium move into your bones. So if you're simply taking a calcium formula, you need to add a silica to actually drive the calcium where it needs to be. Thank you. So inner strength begins at the cellular level. Always know.
Oh, sorry, Sue.
So always know that this inner strength begins at the cellular level. We are not what we see on the outside. We need to, if you're not happy with your skin or what's happening, you're looking dull, life isn't giving you the energy, it's because of your cells. If you want to have beautiful hair, beautiful skin, beautiful clear eyes, you want to have a calm nervous system, it all begins by nourishing the internal home. So remember when I said about the mortar and the bricks, really get your home in place, your internal home. And only when our cells are healthy and cell metabolism is optimized can we maintain our inner strength, building a strong immunity. You cannot have a strong immunity by simply eating well. We need to build our internal armor, and this happens internally with the tissue salts. So I wanted to say here, the health of your skin depends on the health of your cells. Now, these are the 4 key tissue salts that I've got in the combination D formula. So Kali Mur, Kali Sulph, Calc Sulph and Silica are those tissue salts that will bring about healthy, healing, nourishing to nourish your skin. So we know that if you've got eczema, psoriasis, your skin's not looking great and you want to give it a boost, you've got dandruff, it means that all these tissue salts need to come to play, and you need to be on combination D for at least 3 months with a good probiotic. So I love kefir and I love combining it with combination D. Simply taking Silica gel or a collagen on its own is not the solution. I always encourage women and men to add silica to any Silica gel or collagen to move the silica and the collagen into the bones and create healthy collagen. Or if you've got skin disorders that you want to that have been going on for a while, I'd recommend you go straight to combination D. So detox and weight loss, that's a really big topic theme. I get asked all the time, Susan, how can I lose 5 kilos? I've been going on every diet. I starve myself. Now, it's made easy with Schuessler, because Schuessler makes sure that your building blocks of weight loss are put in place. So without Nat Sulph, without Nat Mur, without Nat Phos, you're not able to actually build your platform of weight loss. So when I talk about building your platform, you need to actually create alkalinity at your gut level for you to be able to burn fat. Yes? So a sluggish metabolism, and if you're constipated, you've got a sluggish metabolism and you're simply taking digestive enzymes, that's not going to help you easily break down the food if you don't have Nat Sulph, Nat Mur, and Nat Phos working in conjunction to actually support your weight loss. This is the trinity that I call the weight loss trinity, and I made something that's sold in Canada called the Fresh Start, which includes these tissue salts in there. And if you need any further information, please email us on that formula. But just know that detox and weight loss can become a lot easier with Schuessler Tissue Salts. So whatever regime you're following, whatever diet you want to go with, make sure that you add the tissue salts to make everything that you do successful. A diet on its own will not work if your body is not ready for a diet. So get your body detox and weight loss ready before you start those next steps, wanting to lose weight. Be successful in your detox and weight loss by starting your journey and adding tissue salts to that journey. So let's talk about how we slow down the aging clock with Schuessler. And this is very important because who you are today can actually be who you are tomorrow, meaning age-wise. So what we can do with tissue salts is slow down that aging process, and it's wonderful because our cells can be renewed and recharged. Remember I talked about Calc Phos, Kali Phos and Mag Phos, and ferrum phos and nat phos. These all go into combination 5. And why do I love this combination 5 formula? The combination 5 actually sews up your nervous system, wonderful for hot flushes, gives us a lot more energy, helps us get a good night's sleep, helps us with our metabolism. It's got so many jobs. And every time you're thinking of buying an activated B vitamin, I would recommend a combination 5 that you chew 1 to 2 of those 4 times a day, and you stay on it for at least 3 months to actually supercharge your cells to drive for you. Make your cells work for you by giving them those 5 phosphates. What I love about combination U called calcium absorption, you cannot absorb calcium unless your body's alkaline and has silica added to it. So calcium absorption are the 3 calcium products in the tissue salts that we need with added silica. So when you're taking calcium, whether it's the best powder, comes from the ocean, whatever your calcium choice is, remember combination U is your go-to, or if you've got silica, work with that. So what I love about the combination U, it does make you more alkaline. Calcium's better absorbed in an alkaline body that actually has higher doses of silica, which comes in this tissue salt. I love combination F because in this formula, you've got It's a bit different to the combination 5, still has the phosphates, but we add silica to actually accelerate cleansing the body and jump starting your metabolism, so you've got more energy there. So if you're suffering from fatigue and you're tired of being fatigued, it means that you need this combination F. Combination C, I love, and it's very much to do with the way we become more alkaline. So Nat Sulph, Nat Phos, and Nat Mur live in that combination C to jumpstart your alkalinity. So if you're finding that instead of taking all three tissue salts, I would recommend combination C. And if you're finding that there are times in the day initially that you need more of this or before meals, I'd recommend you take it every half hour for up to 6 doses and then every 2 hours. But just remember, these are the 4 key tissue salts you might want to consider. And you don't need to take more than one of them, but I would recommend that you learn about these key 4 and with the combination D. But these 4 will slow down aging, because aging starts in an acidic body, in a fatigued body. When you're not absorbing your calcium, it means you won't have strong bones that will hold your body up. And the 5 phosphates, did you know that when you're calm, aging is dramatically slowed down? And we live in such a busy world that if we just found some inner calm, so you can practice mindfulness, you can practice meditation, we all need the 5 phosphates to sit more comfortably in our body. Now let's look at the dosages. I wanted to speak about over the last probably 10 years, I've been doubling the dose because our soils are so deficient, and not everyone's going to tell you, if you're speaking with friends or customers or clients, they're not going to tell you they're on antidepressants. They're not going to tell you that they drink more than 1 to 2 glasses of wine a night. So I've, in the last 10 years, I've encouraged the people chew 2 tablets 4 times a day of the tissue salts, and then move to the maintenance dose of 1 tablet 4 times a day. The reason I do that is that I jumpstart the tissue salts in the body. And remember, I also said with the tablets, every half hour, every 15 minutes to every half hour, if you're in an acute crisis, if you've got a tickle in your throat and you don't want to come down with a cough or a cold, I recommend 1 tablet every 15 minutes of ferrum phos, taken for up to 6 doses, and then you go back to doing it every few hours until you feel better, and then the 1 tablet 4 times a day. Same with the sprays. And just remember, a lot of people ask me about the tablets. There's very, very little lactose in them. There's not more than 1 slice of bread. That's how much lactose is in your daily serve of the tablets. So it's not that they've got a great amount of lactose. Lactose is simply the carrier of the minerals. The sprays, 4 sprays 4 times a day, or you can do them 4 sprays every half hour for up to 6 doses and then move back into there. The sprays are in a glycerol, ethanol and water base. We must add ethanol to them as a preservative. They can be actually added to water, about 10 to 20 mils of water. If you're giving them to your pets, tissue salts are excellent for your pets. You can add the sprays which are diluted in the water, or they can simply chew. My cat always chews. I give her combination 5, and she's 19 and she still jumps up on my lap. So she's also a devotee to the tissue salts. And the creams are used topically at least 2 to 3 times per day. And they can be, I've always got a tube in my bag there. Thank you. So what I want to ask you today, what do you do to nurture your cells that carry you through every day, assisting you to function throughout your life? Please use today as giving them the nourishment and nutrition and saying, thank you, cells, for allowing me to get on with my day. Thank you for walking for me. Thank you for sitting for me. Thank you for the way I speak today. It's all to do with your cells. Have you thought if you nurture or abuse your cells, put a stop to not considering your cells. Make your cells as much of a priority as brushing your teeth. Say hello to them because they'll always speak to you in symptoms. Your cells will always dictate to you what they need. We just need to listen to their whispers. And I'd be happy to also send a page attached to this, which will have the breakdown of what each tissue salt does and is used for. So you start hearing the whispers of your cells. So again, make Schuessler tissue salts a part of your daily regime and feel the difference. Ensure that tissue salts you choose walk with you for at least 1 month before considering to change the selection you've made. The reason tissue salts are taken 4 times a day, Dr. Schuessler believed that these little micro minerals needed to support your cells through the day. It's not recommended that you simply swallow or take all 4 of them in the morning or in the evening. They're not like any other supplement. They are chewed or sprayed into your mouth, move through the mouth mucosa and into your bloodstream immediately. There's no need to they're not needed to be digested. And this is what is so wonderful about tissue salts. When we talk about activation, they are highly activated in your system. So they start working for you the minute they go into your mouth, and you'll feel the difference. So let's remember Schuessler's theory. This is Dr. Schuessler's theory that I've always used in my trainings. Disease does not occur, and I call disease like imbalances do not occur if cell metabolism is normal with those 12 tissue salts that need to be in the body, and they are part of our combinations as well. Cell metabolism is normal if cell nutrition is adequate. Nutritional substances are either organic or inorganic, and I'm saying they both work in harmony like a house with a mortar. Ability of body cells to assimilate is based on the inorganic material. Remember the minerals and the water. Supplying tissue salts in an assimilable form provides adequate cell nutrition. That was the purpose why they're made. Dr. Schuessler wanted them carried into the cells, because he believes through digesting them in the mouth mucosa, they're actually traveling to where they need to be. Our cells, our body is a very, very smart organism. It actually knows what it needs at any time. So by you simply supplying the tissue salts that it needs, you'll be able to activate those cells to actually protect you and have your back. Just know your cells will protect you from any viruses coming in, from you becoming very unwell by simply building up your cells. This does not mean all you do is take tissue salts, but this is your starting point, and then you build your house. So if you've got, if you need NSC or harmony, it actually works as a family. Healthy cells, healthy organs, healthy mindset, that makes you a dynamic individual. And I want to remain dynamic for the rest of my life. And I don't know about you, but let's actually start today building ourselves like Dr. Schuessler wanted to, in a way that we are responsible totally for our health. It's really up to you how you digest your food. If you're not digesting your food, you're not receiving all the nourishment. If you want a healthy heart for the rest of your life, you need to make sure that your magnesium is in place at all times. If you've got a pulsating, an eye twitch, or you're very, very stressed, remember this is where the combination 5 comes in. Always go and visit your health practitioner if you're feeling very uncomfortable for more than 2 days. And tissue salts work in with medications as well. They do not interfere, and pets can take them, pregnant women can take them. They do not interfere with any prescriptive medication, because on many occasions, prescriptive medications deplete the minerals at the cellular level, so they work hand in hand. So be well with tissue salts, be healthy, be free and inspired about your health. Enjoy every day in a balanced way daily. And it is up to us to create this inner freedom. And Schuessler is your starting point for internal freedom. And what I forgot to mention is that we do have tissue salts for kids. They're available as well, and they're half the adult dose in a natural strawberry flavouring. There's 3 available now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you everyone for joining, and please feel free to reach out to myself, who would be the person that emailed you, if you have any further questions regarding the quiz questions. Thanks, Suze.
Thanks.
Bye. Hang on, I can probably just...
Chloe, there was a point there that I've got a little, one of these slides, if you can just add